Breathwork has gained significant popularity in recent years, with numerous scientific studies highlighting its benefits for mental health and overall well-being. It's essential to remember that many of these now popular methods are rooted in age-old practices such as Pranayama, Tummo, Gong Fu, and Zen. These ancient traditions combine breathwork, meditation, and movement to enhance physical, mental, and emotional well-being. In this video, we'll explore the differences and similarities between breathwork and Qi Gong and discuss how to integrate their principles into your daily routine. Hey friends, my name is Qi and I'm a Wim Hof Method instructor, a traditional Hungar Kung Fu practitioner for over 20 years, and a movement student under the Ido Portal method. Today I want to look at two practices I've been teaching for years. Qi Gong and breathwork, like the Wim Hof Method, both have similarities but are also fundamentally different. Let's first look at breathwork. As the name implies, we consciously work with our breathing to influence our physical, mental, and emotional state. When we work with our breaths, from a bird's eye perspective, we can control our inhale, our exhale, and breath holds on empty and full lungs. And regarding breathing, we can emphasize the inhale, or we can focus on the exhale. Or we can inhale and exhale evenly. And depending how we combine those different elements, we generate different outcomes. This sounds all very complicated and complex, but the underlying physiological mechanism is quite simple. When we inhale, our diaphragm moves down and our lungs open up, creating space around the heart, which expands slightly. This expansion slows blood flow, signaling the brain to increase our heart rate. When we exhale, our diaphragm relaxes and moves up, compressing our lungs and tightening the heart, thereby increasing blood flow speed. The sinoatrial node then sends a signal to the brain to decrease the heart rate. This is one of the gateways how we can consciously influence calming and activating processes in our body, or in nerdy words, how we can influence the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system of our autonomic nervous system. When you look at the Wim Hof Method breathwork protocol, for example, we have an activating part where we do fast-paced hyperventilation-like breathing, where we concentrate on the inhale, and we have a calming part where we hold our breath on empty lungs. And by engaging both sides of our autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, we get into this very energized yet very calm state of mind. Or we take cyclic sighing, for example, where we do a short and consecutive double inhale and a longer exhale. With this simple method, we can calm ourselves down very quickly. In a recently published study, the Wim Hof Method and cyclic sighing, together with box breathing, can significantly reduce stress and lower respiration rate and improve mood. But it's not only stress and mood that can be improved with conscious breathing. It's also physical performance. And I not only mean physical performance on a given day, but also the effect that we get from our training. Professor Andy Galpin is one of the leading scientists in exercise and kinesiology, and he integrates conscious breathing strategies with every athlete he works with. And it doesn't matter if your exercise is skill-based, endurance-oriented, or strength-focused. Breathwork is crucial. And the best way to think about it is we have breathwork during an activity and breathwork after or in between activities. Conscious breathing during an activity highly depends on what you're doing, but breathwork after or in between activities is mostly neglected. How many people do you see in the gym on their smartphone between sets? Right, most of them. Or how many people are doing a breathwork session after their work is done? So you're leaving gains on the table here. Same thing with skills and neuroplasticity. The window right after a workout is crucial for neuroplasticity, aka learning. And you can use it to your advantage if you do a short conscious breathing session after your workout. It's so easy, but so few are doing it. So just doing a 5-minute box breathing or cyclic sighing session after your workout will help you to get the most out of your training. If you're new here and want to try that out, I have a few guided breathwork videos on this channel or some educational content on breathwork. So if you like, you can check that out. So what then is the difference between breathwork and somatic practices like Qi Gong, Tai Chi, etc.? Qi Gong is a traditional Chinese practice that integrates meditation, movement, and breath regulation. It's a somatic practice and, contrary to many Western beliefs, an integral part of every traditional Gong Fu style, and not a specialized and closed practice on its own. And this is very important to understand because Qi Gong can be layered into everything you do. In Eastern cultures, the concept of Qi or Qi can be translated into many different forces depending on the context. For example, Qi can be kinetic energy from movement, or it can also mean stamina or muscular strength. In Qi Gong, Qi is the level of awareness you can allocate with your mind while moving or being still. And awareness or mindfulness is not a binary skill that you can switch on and off. You're not just aware or you're unaware, although many people today think this way. So in my experience, 3 components of awareness are very important in Qi Gong: interoception, proprioception, and introspection. Interoception in Qi Gong involves paying close attention to the sensations within the body, such as the weight of the body parts, muscle tension, balance asymmetries, the kinetic chain of a movement, and the saturation of awareness you put into your body or movement, often referred as the flow of Qi. On one hand, there's the sensation part, also known as a body scan. And on the other hand, there's the melting of the body, where we release excessive muscle tension. Additionally, we can consciously saturate our body parts with more awareness, enhancing sensations within the body. This increased awareness may feel like heaviness or warmth, which can be spread throughout the entire body or focused on smaller areas like the back of our right eye or the fourth toe on our foot, for example. Proprioception in Qi Gong often involves performing slow, deliberate movements while paying attention to the body parts' position in space and their relation to each other, in addition to Introspection. In many skill-based practices, there's a drive towards more complex movements. So, whenever we feel too comfortable within a skill or a set of movement patterns, we want to evolve in the direction of more complexity. And there are many ways how we can do that. We can increase the coordinative demand with more complex movements, or we can add internal and external disturbances when we change the environment, for example. Think of fiercer competition, a faster rhythm, a new sparring partner, etc. So improving our sense of where our limbs are in space and to each other becomes very important. Qi Gong also includes meditative components and introspection, where we examine our thoughts, feelings, and mental states. The aim is to get mental clarity and emotional balance. A mistake that I often made was trying to change my mental state by being aware of my negative feelings and thoughts. But I found that reasoning myself out of a negative mental state was a really bad strategy. I was much more successful when I was exercising, taking ice baths, or doing the Wim Hof Method breathwork in changing my state because I was disrupting my energy level. But introspection is nonetheless very essential because it builds the foundation for self-acceptance. By really dissecting my thoughts and sensing my emotional state, I better differentiate between things I can and things I can't control, and as a result, accepting those things that I can't control. And good introspection is also an early warning system for me when my actions and thought cycles are heading to a bad direction. So Qi Gong, in the most general understanding, can be layered into everything we're doing, whether in stillness or while moving. And even though there are specific and progressive exercises on how to develop Qi Gong skills, you can start now by implementing interoception, proprioception, and introspection. Let's take the Wim Hof Method breathwork as an easy illustrative example. In the Wim Hof Method breathwork, there are 30 hyperventilation-like breaths, followed by a breath hold on empty lungs. We can start by practicing introspection, checking in with ourselves and become aware of our thoughts, emotional and mental states. This helps us to set the clear intention for our breathwork practice that follows. Next, we can perform a body scan to become aware of our natural breathing pattern without influencing it. For example, we can try to sense the movement between exhaling and inhaling, focusing on what causes us to inhale in that brief moment without breathing. Can we feel it without affecting its natural flow? From there, we can gradually shift into the Wim Hof Method breathwork. Since there are multiple rounds, we can start slow, paying attention to the body's movement during deep breathing. Using interoception, we can minimize excessive tension and naturally expand our inhales. As we move to our breath retention phase, we can practice introspection, observing changes in our mental state while holding our breath. Alternatively, we can immerse ourselves in the sensations caused by hyperventilation like breathing and minimize tension to maximize our breath holds. After completing the main breath work, we can perform another body scan or introspection check-in to observe how we feel differently now. We might also go for a short walk, trying to notice any differences in the lightness of our body, our breathing, or the feel of our steps. There are countless ways to layer Qi Gong principles into breathwork practice, and the same is true for everything else we do in life. I have a few guided breathwork videos on this channel where I integrate some of these principles into the practice, so feel free to check them out if you like. I'm also on the BreathSource app where you have a distraction-free breathwork experience, so if you want, you can check that out. Leave a like and subscribe if you like more of these videos and want to help out my channel. And be sure to watch this video if you want to learn more about the physiology of breathwork and what happens in the body, or this video if you want to know about my perspective on Andrew Huberman's new study on meditation and breathwork. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.